For today's presentation, we are going to focus on the colleges which are located in Victoria and Northern Territory. And so, a bit about Victoria. Victoria is home to world class institutes. It has most of the institutes in Australia are located in Victoria. So, it's the educational hub of Australia, and it has all the top ranked universities. Apart from that, it has a very good transportation network and other facilities for students to enjoy and have a balance of life along with their studies. And next one, what we have is Northern Territory. So, Northern Territory is focusing on research and innovation. It is having lots of opportunities with regards to research and innovation, and it has industries which are related to mining, renewable energy, tourism, and agriculture. The focus is more on sustainable energy and sustainable resources. And apart from that, Northern Territory also has wildlife, which is like very famous for saltwater crocodiles and dingoes and diverse bird life. And apart from that, there are a lot of tropical deserts and different landscapes where you could go and explore additional to your studies. Apart from this, Northern Territory is also very known for its low, affordable cost of living compared to other states. And having a look at the expense, the average expense is going to be weekly, and so the weekly cost that would incur would be in terms of your accommodation if you prefer to stay not on campus and individually with a shared accommodation or a separate accommodation. So depending on your preference, your cost is going to vary from maybe around like $260 to $500, and then Northern Territory is going to be a bit cheaper compared to Victoria, starting from $200. And apart from this, you will have a public transport cost if you're staying away from your campus. But then that again, the public transport cost would be only around like 25 to $50 per week, and for Northern Territory, that would be even less, starting with $15. Next would be the food and eating outside cost. So that again, it's almost similar to in both the states, which is about like $140 to $280. And depending on the accommodation, you may have to pay out gas or electricity bills. So that depends on the kind of accommodation you are selecting. So that would be about maybe like $10 to $20 per week. Apart from this, you would have costs related to your phone service and internet, which would be cheap, like maybe like $15 to $20 if you go with some basic plans. And then if you require more data, then that would be a bit costly. Go maximum up to maybe like $130 and so on. And then apart from this, you have, if you go with the car purchase, then you would have a car purchase cost incurred. If not, then there will be just a miscellaneous cost in terms of any expense that will be with regards to your education or to your accommodation or to food, anything. So that will be at a max of $150. And yeah, depending on the lifestyle you choose and you go ahead with. Apart from this, we have something called the Overseas Student Health Cover, which is a mandatory cost, which means it is a compulsion that you take this insurance annually, and the premium would vary from $550 to $1,000 per year, depending on the coverage of the insurance. So this is a mandatory one. So every year for the number of years of your course, you have to take this particular insurance cover. And other essential requirement is the English language requirement. So you will have to meet a minimum English language requirement for the admission and for the visa purpose. So the minimum is 6.5, but then it depends on the course what you are going to select. Some courses might have a higher requirement, and that depends on the course and also the university you are selecting. So you will have to ensure that you select, you check the table, the requirement table for the particular university for the particular course before you go ahead and apply, to ensure that you meet the minimum criteria. And yeah, and also the courses which are accepted are gonna be IELTS, Pearson Test of English, Certificate of Advanced English, and TOEFL, and Test of English as a Foreign Language. So these are the ones which are accepted at the currently. So apart from this, other tests won't be accepted. And yeah, so now coming back to the universities that we're going to discuss about, I'm going to talk about opportunities with Monash University. So, Monash is the second ranked university in Australia, and this is located in Victoria. So, it has like a huge campus in Victoria, a independent suburb with its own postcode. And apart from that, it also has campuses in Malaysia, China, Italy, Indonesia, and India as well. And the focus in Monash is more about the research oriented focus on sustainable energy again, and also on STEM. And they also have like STEM programs for women, which promotes women in STEM degrees. And yeah, and also in terms of the subjects, they have offerings for business, engineering, education, health, and law. So all of it is covered. And they also offer like a special career counseling and health and academic support for international students. And additional to that, they also have a Islamic community for staff and students. And that was about Monash University. In terms of Victoria University, which is again located in the Victorian state as well. So this university is it's in the top 2% of universities worldwide, and it has like strong internship and post work opportunities, and it has like tie-ups with the organizations. And the best part is the campuses are located in regional Victoria, which means like you will be able to have cheaper opportunities in terms of cost of living and accommodation cost that will be cheaper comparatively. Just a second, I had someone annotating on my screen. I think that was Shakila. I think she was trying to annotate on my screen. Could you please not do that? All right. So now moving on to next one, we have Charles Darwin University, which is located in Northern Territory, but it also has its campus in Sydney as well. So this university, it has like a really good student to teacher ratio, which means you have a chance to interact with your teachers, and you will get more attention and more focus. So it is more interactive, and it has like small class sizes. So if you prefer to have a small class size and then you want to have more interaction with your teacher or mentor, then this would be an ideal option. And it also has a record for graduate employment outcomes. So again, it has really good tie-ups with the organization. So after you complete your studies, you have a good chance of getting work opportunities with regards to the university. And it also has different scholarship opportunities as well. So yeah, that was about Charles Darwin University. Now moving on, I'll talk about in details about the opportunities with Victoria University. So the first opportunity what we have is VU Block Model International Scholarship, which is about like 30% of tuition fee being covered, and it depends. It could be either 10%, 20%, or 30%, depending on your academic score. So if you get like a score of 50%, your average of 50% in your previous year of education, then you are eligible for like 10% scholarship. But if you get like 70%, then you get 20% scholarship eligibility. And but if you get like 80%, then you get like 30% scholarship offer. So this, and then this particular offer is gonna be for your, it could be extended for your entire course duration, but that again depends on your academic performance. So yeah, so the details for that is you will have to be an international student who's enrolling in science, engineering, or an IT degree at Victoria, Melbourne. So if you enroll for semester two, which is 2025, a STEM related course, then you will be eligible for this particular scholarship. And also, you will have to maintain a minimum score. I'll talk about that. But before that, Victoria University is also committed to closing gender gaps. So it encourages female students to apply for STEM programs. So there's a good chance, a good possibility for you to get the scholarship as a female student applying for a STEM degree if you have a good score, about like 80 or more. Again, 80 is just a minimum score, but if the higher the score you have, the higher your chances of getting the scholarship. And in terms of application, you do not have to have a separate application filled out, but instead, when you are applying for the course, when you put in your application for the course you want to join or enroll, so in that case, you will be automatically assessed for the scholarship. And what you have to do is, as soon as you apply and you receive an offer, you will have to accept it at the earliest, so that your 30% scholarship offer is given to you and not to others, as these seats are limited. So you need to ensure that you apply early and also secure your accept your offer early. And then in terms of deadlines, there are no deadlines because this is going to be with regards to the program you apply. So again, the different courses have a different requirement and different deadlines. So you will have to ensure that you check in correctly for the course you are interested in or looking for. And then the other scholarship, which is being offered by Victoria University, is called the STEM Accommodation Scholarship. And this scholarship is for the accommodation on campus. And so, depending on your merit score, you will be offered free accommodation for up to 1 year, which is equivalent to like $15,500 value. So, for 52 weeks you will have the accommodation being provided to you, which will be really helpful if you're trying to move in, and then that will give you the space and time to look for other accommodations or nearby or cheaper for yourself. And then in terms of eligibility criteria, it's again the same thing. You will have to have be an international student and apply for STEM degree. In terms of application, again, you do not have to have a separate application put in for this scholarship, but you will be again assessed automatically depending on your merit score. So if you are eligible, then you will receive a email notification to confirm if you're interested in going ahead with this opportunity. So if you agree and you're interested and go ahead, then they will award based on first come first serve base, and again depending on your merit score. So yeah, and in terms of deadlines, you'll have to, this particular scholarship is valid for semester two. The VU scholarship is open throughout the year, so there's no hard and fast rule for that. But then for the accommodation, it's available for semester two 2025, which is starting in July. So you have to apply as early as possible so that you receive the scholarship. So you have your higher chance of receiving the scholarship. And I have added the links of how to apply and entry requirements, which I'll cover like towards the end of the session. In terms of tips for success, is you will have to have a good academic score, which is a mandatory requirement if you want to have maximum scholarship, or if you want to have a accommodation covered as well. So it's always good to have a higher academic score, 80% being minimum, but then that doesn't mean you will have to have only 80%, or that would mean that you will be getting the scholarship. It's just that it's the minimum score. So if you have candidates with higher scores, they have the preference given that rather than you. So it's better to have higher scores, and you have to apply early. This is very important because like even if you apply for the university and you have your application processed, and your admission accepted and so on, but then we have the student visa application which might take time at times. So it's better that you give about like 6 weeks for your visa, and 6 weeks at least for your admission process. So it's always better that you apply like maybe like 3 to 4 months prior, so that you have everything set in place. And yeah, so if you want to have the scholarship continuing, it's important that you maintain the minimum required score. So for the scholarship, again, it might vary the minimum requirement for every year, what you would have to achieve so that you can continue the scholarship. So those terms and conditions would be given to you after you accept the scholarship. And yeah, so in general, you'll have to accept the entry requirement, and also make sure you check the eligibility. And if there are any questions, so it's always great to contact the advisors, the university directly, and clarify your questions. Um, Yep, so that was about Victoria University. The next one is about Charles Darwin University. So the first scholarship opportunity which Charles Darwin University offers is called Vice Chancellor International High Achiever Scholarship. And this scholarship is available for international students. And then this offers like 50% of your tuition fee for entire duration of the program. So your entire tuition fee is going to be reduced by half, and this scholarship is going to be valid until you complete the course, or you no longer meet the eligibility criteria, or your maximum value is exhausted. So you need to ensure that you complete your program within the specified duration, and continue to meet the minimum eligibility requirement. In terms of eligibility criteria, you will have to meet the academic requirement and English language requirement. So you need to ensure that you meet the entry requirement, like we discussed, there's like English language requirement with different scores. So again, for different courses it might vary, so you need to have all those minimum requirements met. And then your overall score has to be about 95% in your previous year of study, so which would be like year 12, or depending on your academic curriculum, whichever you have selected, minimum 95 or equivalent is required for you to be eligible for this and a scholarship. And apart from this, you will have to maintain a GPA of 5.3 with no fail grades. So the overall GPA of 5.3, and then you would have to clear all your subjects as well. So that would be the minimum requirement for you to have your scholarship being continued. And the next one, what we have is the requirement in terms of application. You will have to submit a separate scholarship application. Along with it, you will have to fill in the supporting statement, which is about like 600 words explaining why you are the right candidate for this scholarship. So once you fill in all these details, you could go ahead and submit the application. And if you're selected, again, you will be notified, and you will get a chance to accept or decline the scholarship, and then you could proceed further. In terms of deadlines, there are no specific deadlines. Instead, it's gonna be based on the course itself. So you'll have to check the course related deadlines for that. So yeah, and then the next one what we have is the CDU Global Merit Scholarship 2024 and 2025. So this particular scholarship is only for 24 and 25 academic year. So if you are looking to enroll in 2025, the second semester, then you will have a opportunity to get into this scholarship. So this is available for undergraduate and postgraduate for international students, and the scholarship value is gonna be 30% of your tuition fee, and it's gonna be covering your entire course duration, provided you meet the eligibility requirement. And in terms of the eligibility criteria, it's again for an international student, and you must be applying for on campus at one of the CDU campus. It could be in Sydney or in Northern Territory, and you will have to have your minimum criteria met and completed your previous study, which would be the schooling or any diplomas or anything. And in terms of application, you do not have to provide a separate application. Instead, when you apply for the course, there's a list of courses which are eligible for this particular scholarship. So if you apply for those courses, you will be automatically assessed for the scholarship. And once you are accepted after meeting the eligibility criteria, you during the time of offer, you can accept this particular scholarship along with your offer. And yeah, you'll have to commence in the intended intake, so you will not be able to postpone or defer your start commencing date. And in terms of deadline, again, no specific or separate deadlines. Instead, it's just gonna be with regards to the course deadlines. In terms of tips for success, again, similar to the previous scholarship, where we were talking about having high scores, academic scores, to maximize the opportunity for you to have. So it is always better to have higher scores, and apart from that, you will have to provide a supporting statement. So you need to include all your achievements, be it in terms of participating in events or conducting events or volunteering or internships and projects, anything. All of that should be mentioned and highlighted precisely so that the when your application is being reviewed, your application stands out, and it says that you are the right candidate for the scholarship. And other important thing is you need to maintain the minimum academic score or the grade for the scholarship to be continued. And also the main thing is, if there's any question or any confusion regarding your application, it's always better that you communicate or and seek clarification before you apply. So because we don't want any application to be rejected, or just have rejected because of a small confusion or anything. So it's always better to have clarification. The last scholarship what we're going to cover is with regards to Monash University. It's called the Monash International Leadership Scholarship, and this scholarship is awarded to high achieving international students. So it is only for the undergraduate program. And what this scholarship is going to do is cover 100% tuition fee during the duration of your course, your selected course. So you don't have to pay any tuition fee for this. And apart from this, you will have to participate in Monash Global Ambassador Program from the second semester. So the details about the program would be given out to you, about your roles and responsibility will be given out to you. That would be from second semester if you're selected for the scholarship. And You'll also be invited to apply for Mind's leadership program for first year students. So there's additional program called the Monash Minds Leadership, where you will again be invited for that. In terms of the eligibility criteria to gain this scholarship, is you have to be an international student, and you will have to receive an offer from Monash for full-time enrollment, and you will have to have a minimum of 70% of average maintained each semester, so that you keep your scholarship going. So 70% is the minimum what you have to maintain. In terms of application, again, you do not have to apply separately or have a separate application put in for the scholarship, but instead you will be automatically assessed. And again, yeah, the priority will be given to those with higher average marks, and also in terms of achievements and participation and so on. So based on all that, they would providing the scholarship, and you can defer the scholarship only within the same calendar year, which means like say you got the scholarship for the first semester in 2026, then you could defer it for second semester 2026 only. You can't change it or do 2027 or any other time. So that was the about the Monash International Scholarship. So again, there are no deadlines. It's going to be open throughout the year, and the it depends on the course. If the course is open for application, then you will be eligible to apply for the scholarship. If not, you'll have to wait for the course to open so that you can apply. And the second scholarship what we have is Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Science International Merit Scholarship. This particular scholarship is for international students who are commencing their master's or bachelor's of pharmaceutical science program. This is more correction. This is also for bachelor's degree. So you will have your tuition fee of 50% covered if you are the highest achieving student. And if you're second highest achieving student, then you'll have 25% of your tuition fee covered. So it depends on your rank in your selected program. You will get the scholarship, and then you will have to continue maintaining 70% of average in each semester so that you can retain the scholarship. So in terms of eligibility criteria, you will have to have a bachelor's degree, or if you're going for master's, and then if you want to go for bachelor's degree, then you have to have at least 60% of marks in your previous undergraduate program. So in that case, you will be eligible for for applying for the scholarship. And there's no separate application required for the scholarship, but instead it will be with regards to your program. So if you apply for the pharmaceutical science program, you will be automatically assessed for the scholarship. And in terms of the deadlines, it's gonna be for semester one, your application deadline would be 1st of August of previous year, and from 1st of August of previous year until 31st of Jan of the same year. And if you're applying for semester two, then it's gonna be 1st of August of same year until 30 June of the admission year. So yeah, so the deadlines are specified only for the pharmaceutical course. And if you're looking for this particular program, then you will have to apply with the minimum average details so that you can get within the deadline frame, so that you can be assessed for the scholarship and as well as for the course. And in terms of tips for success is, again, a very common one is to maintain and to achieve high academic scores to increase your chance of getting the scholarship. And apart from that, you need to ensure that you apply early so that you get your offer as well as your visa process done on time. And to apply for the leadership scholarship, which is 100% covering the program, you have to show evidence of your extracurricular activities and your talent and your leadership roles and your engagement with the community and so on. So all of this is required in addition to your marks so that you could provide this as a proof for getting the scholarship. And anything would be considered like in terms of your projects or in terms of any unpaid internship or volunteership, anything if you have any school clubs and your activities involving um, so a letter or a statement from your teachers and your colleagues or all of that would add a huge value to your application. And also to meet the minimum requirement to continue the scholarship, that's how having 70% in each semester so that you can keep maintaining your scholarship, and also to participate actively in Monash Global Ambassador Program. So this is one of the requirement for the scholarship, that you have to participate in the Monash Global Ambassador Program. Yeah, so that was about the scholarship which is being offered from Monash University. I'll quickly show you all about the requirements and how to process the application. So if I hope this screen is visible where the entry requirements are mentioned. This is one of the example for entry requirements, say from Victoria University in terms of the courses you are selecting. Have the details here. Right. So for English language, like I was talking before, there is a minimum requirement for of six band six for IELTS, but then there are a certain courses that have higher requirement. So you have to thoroughly check your course requirements. So whichever course you are selecting in might have a different a minimum requirement. So you need to ensure that you select accordingly, check accordingly. And this is for Victoria University, and the similar table is given for Monash and CDU. So again, that might vary based on the courses and the university offerings. So apart from this, there's also a recognition of English language studies, and that also depends on the previous courses you have done. So you will have to cross verify if you have completed certain course or certain program for having exception. Instead of having taking the English test, you might have an exemption, but that depends. Again, you'll have to check the table and verify. And for bachelor's degree, depending on the curriculum, there are different minimum scores required. So again, you will have, based on your current study, you will have to again cross check if you meet the eligibility requirement or not. Yeah, and then there are additional interest requirement in terms of your curriculum. If you're doing IB or GC, then it might vary. And similarly, there are other countries as well listed, like based on whichever country curriculum you're studying, there are scores which are specified. So you will have to have those minimum requirements met. So this was in terms of minimum requirement. And then moving on to the Victoria University Block Model International Scholarship, where we're talking about 30% being covered. We have all the details, and this link is added in the presentation. So how to apply is you will have to submit an application for the eligibility for the course you're eligible for, and how you do that is here. Yep. In terms of international applications, you can either apply through an agent or apply directly through Victoria University. And if you want to apply directly, what you have to do is you will have to select the course you're interested in, check your entry requirements, then go ahead and have your scholarship opportunities covered. And then next, most importantly, gather all these documents. So the documents which are required would be your academic transcript, and then you will have to provide the English language proficiency if it is applicable for you. If not, you will have to again attach the proof that why you will have an exemption, like mentioned in the table here. So, and then also the copy of your passport and so on. Once you have all these documents ready, you could go ahead and select like apply to VU, and where it will take you to the website to log in and fill in your details, and then log in, create your application. So you will have to start filling in your details, and then once you fill in, you'll get an portal to upload your documents and so on, and then you can go ahead and submit your application. This was a general way to apply for Victoria University. Apart from this, we have next one for STEM, the STEM scholarship, which is covered here. Yep. Okay. So again, I've attached a link for the STEM scholarship, which is mentioned here, the STEM accommodation scholarship. And then the scholarship would be the eligibility and duration, all that is specified. And again, in terms of how to apply, is you will have to go ahead and submit the application for your course the same way how I mentioned for the other scholarship. You will have to gather all your documents and select apply, and then submit and so complete your application and submit it for the review. So that was for Victoria University. The next one, what we have is about Charles Darwin University. So I'll begin with the application for Vice Chancellor's High Achiever Scholarship, where you will have to fill in the details. And once you fill in your details, then you will have to write the statement about why you are eligible for this scholarship, or why you are a better candidate for this scholarship. And yeah, fill in how you're going to be an outstanding ambassador for CDU and so on, and your experience in community engagement, and how you're going to utilize your qualification for making a difference at CDU. And then all of this, once you submit it, fill in, you could go ahead and submit for the vice chancellor. And for general, for other scholarship, where you just have to apply for the course, then you will have either through an agent or by yourself. So again, check your course entry requirements, and then you would have 1 second, yeah, you will have an option to submit, or you could apply to an agent as well. And then once you go ahead to apply now, again, you need to register, fill in your details, and then create your account and upload all your documents. And once you do that, you could go ahead and submit your application. And yeah, so the all your dates which are required for 2024 and 2025 are all specified. So you need to check your dates, and accordingly you can decide which semester you want to apply and you're looking for. And if any details you want about your course or the English language requirements and so on, that will be specified under this section itself. Yep, so that was for CDU. And next what we have is for Monash, where yeah, where in this case the scholarship details are specified over here. And this is the same as what we had covered about in terms of what you need and how to continue the scholarship throughout and so on. And in terms of application, there's no special application required, so you don't have to put anything separately. Instead, it will be same as you apply for the course. Similar to pharmaceutical science as well, where you are applying for the program, and you have your start dates and all your entry requirements also specified. And how do you apply for the course is what you need to do is select your course, and then you have, as an international applicant, you have to have your decide your start date and your course and your course code and so on, which you would get from the find a course page itself, where you have all your course details. And then you will have to have all your documents in terms of your results, in terms of your certificates and all of that, along with your passport copy and English language requirement. And then with all of these documents, you have to give a fee of $125 if you are a international applicant to apply. That is a mandatory. But then if you've gone through any career fair or anything with regards to this particular university, they might give you a waiver code, which means you don't have to apply for like 125. We don't have to pay 125 to apply. And apart from that, if your official documents are not in English, then you will have to have those translated in English and submit those translation along with original documents. So that is required. And then once you have all your documents ready, you could go ahead and apply for the you could go ahead and submit your application after you have uploaded all of these documents. So that was for Monash University as well.
Thank you once again, Ms. Shirin, for the insightful and informative webinar. It was very great. And thank you everyone who participated and asked their question. I hope that you find this helpful. And obviously, we have shared the links. You can join the WhatsApp group, which is exclusively for females. And for the PDF and the recording of the session, you may find it on our YouTube channel. Thank you once again, everyone. I hope you have a good day.